Welcome to Market Recap Live. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God it's Monday. Tonight, we are taking a look at ticker DIS. You might know them better as Disney. All right. The Walt Disney Company was founded in 1923 by Walt Disney and his brother Roy, with the first studio opening in Hollywood, California. Now they're publicly traded on the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, and have a market value over 100 billion. Yes, that's with a B. Dollars. Disney is in the movies and entertainment industry in the communication services sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Disney's peers are Netflix, ticker NFLX, Warner Brothers Discovery, ticker WBD. Now, keep in mind, Warner Brothers was recently acquired, or they're going through the acquisition process of being acquired by Paramount. Okay, just to keep that in mind. And Comcast, ticker CMCSA. We're going to review Disney's earnings, their website, and visit the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put an FB in the chat if you're tuning in from Facebook. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's go ahead and get to it. Bam. Man, I love it when this works smooth. Disney, ticker symbol DIS, the one. Wait a minute, let's do that one more time. Disney, ticker symbol DIS, the $181.8 billion company, reported its second quarter 2026 earnings on Wednesday, May 6th. They have a 52-week high of $124.69, which took place on June 30th, and a 52-week low of $92.18 that occurred on March 27th, which is a trading range of $32.51. And they closed today at $104.72. Disney's earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $25.2 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $24.9 billion, and beat on the bottom line as streaming fueled growth with rate increases. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $1.49 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $1.57. Disney reported a GAAP net income of $2.3 billion, which was lower than the $3.3 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents a decrease of 30.3%. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 43.5% higher than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released before the market opened, followed by an 8:30 a.m. Eastern time conference call. As far as guidance, management expects fiscal 2026 adjusted EPS to grow about 12%. That 52-week low of $92.18 compared to today's closing of $104.72 represents an increase of 13.6% over a span of approximately 1.5 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in March at that 52-week low of $92.18, they would be seeing a gain of $136.04. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Now, let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? To find those answers, we browse 4 key areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, investor relations for SEC filings and stock quotes. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go back to Disney's website. Let's go check that out. Okay, let's go ahead and blow this up. Here we go. Make sure we got this disclaimer on. Here we are. We are at their website. Now, as we look at their website, we're going to scroll over the home page, and I'm about to check and see what I see right here at the beginning. This is kind of easy, guys. I can see it already. So right here at the top, we're definitely going to visit careers. We're going to visit investor relations, and about is right here. I'm not going to click it because I think it's going to take us away from where we are right now. So we're going to scroll through the home page, see what we can find, and then we're going to browse through those locations. So we definitely can see Mickey and Walt right there in the 7 Dwarfs. Rita Farrow, I hope I said that right, on Disney's next chapter in advertising and at this year's upfront. Okay. Here go the stock information. They got this right here on the homepage. Disney careers. They talk about the total charitable giving, employee volunteer hours. That's the first time. I haven't seen that before on a company's website. Explore our latest trailers. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of media, just a lot of media. All right, now we down at the bottom of the page. I see about, investor relations. Same thing we pretty much seen at the top. So let's go ahead and go to about and see if we can find some. There it is. That was easy. Our mission. The mission of the Walt Disney Company is to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of unparalleled storytelling, reflecting the iconic brands, creative minds, and innovative technologies that make ours the world's premier entertainment company. That's what's up. So investors relations, I got this other mouse, guys. I'm gonna have to use this one. I gotta adjust that other one. So they talk about the executive leadership. Okay, board of directors, blah, blah, blah. Our businesses. The Walt Disney Company, together with its subsidiaries and affiliates, is leading diversified international family entertainment and media enterprise that includes 3 core business segments: Disney Entertainment, ESPN, and Disney Experiences. Disney Entertainment. Okay, so here are the different things that are owned by Disney. So they had a Walt Disney Studios, Pixar, Marvel, 20th Television, Searchlight, 20th Century, Hulu, Disney Plus, FX, National Geographic, and ABC. Okay, all right. ESPN Plus. Yeah, they started charging for everything with these streaming services. It looked like Netflix was going to be in trouble, and they still a powerhouse out here. All right, so we went through that. We seen a little bit about, we found the mission statement in that. So let's go over to careers. Let's cover the careers. Now, you know what I'm looking for. We got to find these benefits. So hopefully they don't make this hard to find. Career areas. So they're talking about different job categories up here. Life at Disney. I'm scared to click on that because I think it's going to take us somewhere else. So let's scroll over the careers page before we start clicking stuff. And let me see if they zoomed us out. And thank you guys for tuning in. Let's zoom it out. Oh gosh, what didn't happen? Wait a minute. Here we go. Are you sure you want to close this panel? Yes. All right, blow this back up and zoom in. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Discover the possibilities. So they talk about the featured jobs. Where are the benefits? That looks like it's a video. Global opportunities. So they have jobs all around the world. North America, Latin America, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, and Asia Pacific. And you can explore those jobs right here from the website. They talk about their businesses again, which we saw the different brands. We can scroll through this, see if we'll see anything different, but I doubt it. Yeah, we already seen those. That's another place to see them. Our culture. So we didn't read that. So our people are at the heart of everything we do here at Disney. They fuel our business, power our storytelling, uphold our strong legacy, and foster good in our communities. Remember, links to these websites are down in the description for your convenience if you want to browse over them on your own. So here we go. Benefits. We found it. So let's go ahead and click on this. Learn more. Let's see how transparent they're going to be or descriptive they're going to be about these benefits. Career development, community involvement, commuter assistance, exclusive discounts. Let me see. Yeah, they talk about the different categories. I say they did a pretty good job, but you can't click on them and go deeper into it. So they aren't links. And remember, the links are down in the description for your convenience if you want to browse through this on your own. Okay, well, we found the benefits. We have covered everything except the investors relations. So let's go find that. Let's see if it's down here at the bottom. Nope. So we're going to have to go back to the main page. There we go. Investor relations. Got it. Now let's see if they zoomed us out again. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Here we go. Moving too fast. Zoom in. Nah, it ain't working. There you go. 150. All right. So we're going to browse over the investors relations page, but I see the stock info here. So we're going to scroll over it and then come back up to the top. And then we'll talk about what we will find in the stock quote and see what charts they have. So let's go here, stock info. Bam. So here's the stock quote that they offer on the website. Here's the stock chart, historical stock quote. So we know where to find that. Okay, so let's go back over to the main screen. We'll come back to that in a second. All right, let's get this going. Now, before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. Traders lose critical detail and advanced platform features on a mobile screen. So keep in mind, trading from a phone is usually the least effective way for managing assets. To see every detail, use a full trading platform and watch these streams on a computer or TV. Only use a phone as a last resort. Now let's look at the charts for ticker DIS. And here we go. All right, we got them pulled up on the screen. Let's get the right disclaimer up here. There we go. All right. So, oh boy, make sure this is right. We're looking, this is a weekly. Nope, this is the daily. This is the daily. So let me fix this because this isn't right. I was talking to my cousin earlier. We was talking about stocks, so I made some changes on here. So let me put this back. This needs to be a 10-year weekly. So as we can see, I just changed that to the 10-year weekly, but let's start with the 1-year daily chart. So we can see the 52-week high of $124.69 we talked about, and here's the 92.19 52-week low. So from this low to the highest points since that 52-week low, there was an opportunity for a 19.85% return. Now that's if you had got it perfect from the low to the high, but that opportunity was there because we see that it happened between, what are these dates? And that was about over a span of 40 days. So we can see that right there on that tool. So let's go ahead and remove this so we won't have a distraction, or it won't be a distraction. And now we're going to use that other mouse I talked about. So I'm about to add this little fancy feature where we're going to point out things using arrows when it's necessary, and then we'll take them off the screen. But you'll see, you'll like it. It'll make it easier for us to check this stuff out. So right here, we are looking at a 1-year daily chart. And we're going to go to the weekly chart, the 10-year weekly, to look for some levels. So with the price being right here, I'm going to say right here is going to be resistance, and here is going to be resistance. So that's at the $118.18 price level and the $123.69 price level. Now, I'm not going to do all of the levels because I don't believe that's necessary to do right now, because here's where the price is. So I just want to mark out the resistance and support that it could reach recent, like now. That's the closest. We're not going to go like if it go all the way up there. We're just going to keep it tight. So let me check and see what I see over here. I would say this, because I'm seeing some candles kind of respect this level. And we're just using lines, at least with this one right now. I'm not doing zones, of course, as you can see. And I would say the bottom of this would be, now this would actually be a zone. I would say this would be a zone. So let me just go ahead and do this one as a zone. So the zone for this one would be here. And this is going to be a pretty wide zone. It's not big enough. So let me delete this and just start over. And I'm going to tell you how or what I was using to do this. So what I did to determine this zone, I used the bottom of this wick right here to determine that as being my bottom, because I'm seeing that these candles here respected that area. The wicks came out, but they weren't able to stay out of it. So that's why I didn't use those. Same thing with this. Now, this candle body did come out of it, but this is the support resistance zone I'm seeing here. The other ones, we can just use lines. So now let's go over to the 1 year daily chart. And now our technicals are pretty much done because we use the weekly to be able to do it. That's why I like using the weekly, because it gives you a better, or at least me, it gives me a better idea of what's going on with the price action, and it simplifies it when I zoom into the 1 year daily chart. So let's talk about the stock quote, the volume, and then we can go over a little bit about the technicals as far as the simple moving averages. Okay, so let's come on the floating data box. Bam, there we go. So let me zoom in. And here is today's candle. So Disney opened today at $108. They had a high of $108.39. They had a low of $104.38. And they closed today at $104.72, which was a trading range of $4.01. And when we look at the trading volume, they traded 10 million shares of this stock today. Now we're going to go over to our volume labels. Let me take me off the screen, and I'm going to remove this floating data box so it won't be such a distraction. And now when we go over here, our average volume is 9 million shares is what they usually trade in a trading session. So today was slightly above average, so not a big deal. And remember, the earnings that they had were actually on, what's this date? They talking about the rectangle. That's why I was confused. They not showing me the date of the actual earnings, because when we mouse over it, it's showing the rectangle tool. And I wonder if you can hide it. I'm not even sure if you can hide it. I'm going to have to remove it, and maybe I can put it back, but we'll see. So if I remove it, I can actually highlight this. So the earnings were on the 6th, May 6th. Now let me see if I can undo this and put this back. Is it undo? I'm not sure. I ain't never tried this. Undo. Yep. So we can put it back. Good, 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 good. All right. Put me back on. No, we didn't finish this. So the previous volume was 8 million. So this is what they traded on Friday, since today is Monday. So this day was above average. Friday, it was below average. So now let's talk about the volume rank percentile. We can put me back on the screen for that one. So when it comes to the volume rank percentile, it was 71%, which means today's volume was higher than 71% of the most recent 252 trading days. And when we see DA and DB, which is right here, Days above, only 73 days had more volume than today out of the most recent 252 trading days, and 179 days were below today's volume. So that's what we see with that. Now, I said we're going to talk about this briefly with the simple moving averages. So the dashed green line is the 9-day simple moving average. Now I'm gonna use this tool so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me cut this tool on. So right here, up here, right here. I don't know if that's hard for you to see because both of those are yellow. So I'm gonna do it from this angle. Right here. Why is it moving so funny? Give me 1 second. Why is this? Right here, where it says close 9, and then over here it says close 200. This is white and this is green. Those are telling you about these simple moving average lines. So it's telling you is 9 is set to the close, and this dash green line is the 9. This dash white line is the 200, and it's based off daily candles because we're looking at the 1-year daily chart. So it's the average of the most recent 200 days, the price average based on the close. So that's the 200-day simple moving average, and that's a 9-day simple moving average, and that's where you can see it at the top of the screen. So now that we're using these tools, I can point this out to you better, okay? So now we're done with that. Let's go ahead and move on. So we did our technicals for the earnings company. Bam, Maine. Didn't do anything, huh? Oh, I know why that was, because we got this on. Now let's try this again. Maine. That didn't work either. Give me a second. We got some technical difficulties, guys. Oh, I know what it is. See, I got to get used to using these new tools. Bam, there we go. All right. Oh, man. See, every time I add something go crazy. This is not financial advice, so that's not what we're talking about right here. Let's put that back on there. All right. Prompter. Here we go. All right, back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as the ticker on the screen, okay? So let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index, okay? So let's go here, bam. All right, so now that we have this pulled up, let me put the SPY. There we go. So we're going to go right here in this symbol box, and we're going to type in SPY. So right here, so I'm going to use this tool again. Let's get fancy. Right here is where they give you the information about the symbol that you have pulled up. So this is the name for that symbol. So State Street Spider S&P 500 ETF Trust. Okay. So that's what that is. And now that I remember what buttons to push, we can move on and it won't be crazy, but that's what that is. So we're going to zoom in over here. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. We already have our technicals drawn on the chart. And as we can see today, the SPY made another all-time high. Now the new high for the SPY is $740.79. So this was our previous line of resistance because they had hit an all-time high on Friday, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to change this, go to edit properties. So what I did was right-click on the chart, go to edit properties, and we're going to type in right here, if it lets me do it, 740.79. 740.79, and that will move up and be our new area of resistance. I think we're still good with leaving this as the support, but guys, it's just going up and up and up and up. And I did confirm, I talked about this on a couple live streams ago, so let me fill you in on this. I'm going to start doing live streams. I'm going to start doing live streams on, let's use this one, on the weekend. because my watch time hours dropped. They tanked dramatically when I didn't do a live stream on Saturday and Sunday. So earlier, when I was talking about the fractional shares, so some people talk about how expensive certain stocks and ETFs and things of that nature are. Like, man, I can't afford to buy a $700 stock or a $700 ETF or things like that. Okay. So Charles Schwab and other brokerages, it's not just Charles Schwab, they offer fractional share purchases. So what that means is you don't have to buy a whole share. You can use a certain amount of money to purchase shares in that amount. Okay. So Schwab just started rolling this out. They started doing it with all of the companies that's inside the S&P 500 index. I did find a resource that's a free resource for you to be able to look at that website, see what companies are in it, as well as verify that they started rolling out you being able to do this on ETFs as well. So if somebody wanted to invest in the S&P 500 or the QQQ or the VU, which is Vanguard, if somebody wanted to do that, they're offering fractional purchases of those ETFs as well. I confirmed it today, but I'm gonna wait till this weekend and I'm gonna do Q&As and I'm gonna do like an hour tutorial on showing you how to put orders in and how to submit orders for those fractional shares. So that'll be coming up this weekend. So I just wanted to drop that right now to let you know. So let me go back here. Spy back on the screen, trading platform. Okay. All right. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be very informative. And plus you will have access to me to go ahead and ask questions. All right. So we got that. We looked at the technicals, really nothing fancy going on here with that. So let's do the ETF quote and then we can wrap up the SPY. So let me cut on the floating data box. Boom, 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 bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. Mouse over it. Now, the SPY opened today at $736.45. They had a high of $740.79, which is also a new all-time high and a new 52-week high. So that's $740.79. They had a low of $736.45, and they closed today at $739.30, which was a trading range of $4.34. Now, when we look at the trading volume, again, it's hitting new highs at lower under average volume. So the volume for today was 44 million shares of this ETF was traded. Now we're going to look at the volume labels and see what the average is. So when we go over here and we take this floating data box off, we don't need it. The average trading volume for the SPY is 75 million in a daily trading session. And today was below average again. It was actually lower than what it was on Friday. So today it was about 44 million. And on Friday, it was 47 million. So it's still hitting all-time highs with below average volume. Okay. Now let's talk about the volume rank percentile so we can determine or get an idea just how low this volume is. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 14 of those days had lower volume than today. And now when we look at the percentage, so if we wanted to determine that, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was only higher than 5.6% of those days, okay? Now, remember I had talked to you about the simple day moving average, the 9, and let me use the other mouse because this one's easier. And the 200-day simple moving average is trading above both of those. It's still trading above those. It's just going to the moon the way it looked. It's just making new highs and new highs and new highs. So we're going to see what's going to happen Tuesday through Friday the rest of this week. But that's what I'm seeing right now. That's our technicals on the SPY. All right, let's get ready to move on. We can go back here and cover this. So let's go to here. Now, let's look at today's winners and losers. All right, winners and losers. First, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. Okay, That's what we're going to do. I'm looking at something on the prompter. It's a little funny, so I want to fix it. It's bothering me. So let me fix this. There we go. All right. So let's go back to the charts. Bam. Now we got the charts pulled up. We are going to go to the Market Watch tab so we can pull up the watch list. Matter of fact, let me make sure I got everything right before I spoil it. I'm not going to spoil the show like I normally do when I don't have this watch list ready with the Biggest Loser and I show you who the winner is and all that. I'm going to get better at doing that. I'm going to stop spoiling it. So here we go. I got it ready this time. And we're not looking at the spy, so we can take that off the screen. So today's biggest loser for today is ticker DG. You might know them better as Dollar General, okay? And they lost 7.64% today. So let's do a hypothetical and pull the calculator up on the screen. So if somebody had invested, let's say, $300 at this previous close. So the previous close, which was Friday's closing price was $113.29. Today, they closed at $104.63, which produced that 7.64% decline. Okay, so we're going to multiply the $300 investment by 7.64, negate it, and then make it a percentage, which they converted to a decimal. Then hit enter. And that's how much that person would have lost of their $300 initial investment. So they would have lost $22.92. Now, if we add the $300 back to it, it's going to take that $22.92 from it. And they would be left with $277.08. So that's how we quickly do those formulas. Now you know. Hope you took your notes or whatever. Now we can move on. So we're going to go to Analyze, hit the Analyze tab. Here's the ticker. So we see that Dollar General Corporation is in the consumer staples industry. And we've been doing this recently now, so I'm going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to go take a peek to see how the consumer staples sector performed as a whole today. So we're going to go back up here to the Market Watch tab, and then we're going to go down to the Visualize sub tab. And over here, let me pull this drop down back up. We are looking at the whole S&P 500 index as a heat map. And we can see it was mixed today. It was like a lot of green, it was balanced. It seemed balanced. I don't see a lot of red and I don't see a lot of green. It looked like it's a little bit more red than green, but that's just me, eyeballing it. We're going to go to the consumer, what was it, staples? Let me double check. Yeah, consumer staples. So we'll go to consumer staples. Now, definitely I see more red than green when it comes to consumer staples. And Dollar General, the brighter the color, so if it's bright red, they lost a lot compared to the other red. Like if it's almost a dark burgundy, it's a lower percentage. As you can see, this like they lost less than 1%. So they lost 0.93%. But if you go to DG, they lost 7.64%. So the brighter it is, the bigger the move. So if it's red, it was a loss. If it was green, it was a gain. So the brightest green we see is this, and they went up 6.5%. Now, if we get like a darker green, see how it's only 0.96%, but it's positive. That's how you read the heat map. This one's like the darkest one, so that's even smaller. You see, this the darkest one. So that's only plus 0.14%. So that's how you read that. So this is in the consumer staples, distribution, and retail. So they all were red except for this one. They had a really small gain. So if we were to get more specific and go inside the consumer staples and go into the consumer staples, distribution, and retail industry, we can see that all of it was pretty much red except for this one company, Cisco Corporation. So we get an idea of how that sector and that industry performed today. It wasn't just Dollar General that had trouble. Okay. So now let's go down to the company profile, taking off the screen so we can easily read this. So Dollar General Corporation, here's their website. I'll also have links to the websites featured in tonight's live stream down in the description for your convenience. So let's read a little bit of this description. Dollar General Corporation, a discount retailer, provides various merchandise products in the southern, southwestern, midwestern, and eastern United States. It offers consumable products, including paper towels, bath tissues, paper dinnerware, trash and storage bags, disinfectants and laundry products, packaged foods such as cereals, pasta. They're gonna go on forever. So let's go. Let's go ahead and go to their website. Okay, let's go to the website. They're gonna talk us to doggone goodness. That's what I'm seeing. Wait a minute. This ain't the right website, guys. I see what the problem is. Here we go. So that's the right website. I still found a way to kind of ruin it, but anyway, we here now. Let's put me back on the screen. Bam. So here's Dollar General. Now, what I did a little bit different tonight is that I went ahead and looked this stuff up so I could just go ahead and tell you, like, we can get a quick summary about what their goods and services are by looking this up ahead of time. But we're still going to browse over the websites to just see what we can see and what we can find. I'm looking for something. That's why I'm chatting while I'm getting this. Okay. So you know how I just browsed over it or skipped over it in the section where we were just looking with the description of One Think or Swim? That was because I had already broke this stuff down. So I'm separating it so we can get into details about it. But I'll tell you about it after we go over the website. So we're on Dollar General's homepage. I believe I'm already zoomed in. Let me verify that. Yes, we zoomed in. We're just going to do 150. So I'm looking at the top, sale. That's all I see. So careers, we see the careers is at the top of the page. We're going to scroll over the home page, and when we get down to the bottom, we're going to look for the other things that we like to look for. And this was really interesting to me when I did my research for this company today, before the live stream, which I'm going to share with you towards the end. I like right before we get on the charts, I should say. I'll talk to you about it. But yeah, very interesting. I wish somebody had told me and shared with me what I'm about to share with you tonight. This stuff's still popping up. All right, so let me take me off the screen and show you. So you got Dollar General careers. We're going to look there. We're going to go to About Us. Here's the investor information. I'm browsing around. So they talk about their vendors, new vendors, support, store locator, services. Okay, MyDG, FedEx, DoorDash, Uber Eats. Okay, Dollar General delivery. Okay, cool. Coupons and cash back and spend well. All right. We're going to go to Dollar General careers, About Us, and investor relations. And then I'm going to talk to you about the research that I have found. So let's go to About Us so we can try to find the purpose, the mission, vision, and all that statements. So About Us, make sure they didn't zoom me out. No, they didn't. At Dollar General, our actions are guided by a simple mission: serving others. That's what they want to do. They want to serve people. They want to offer their goods and services to the people. Dollar General is proud to be America's neighborhood general store. I know in Michigan, these things were popping up like weeds, like dollar stores were popping up everywhere. Dollar Generals, I think it was Family Dollar. I don't think it was Dollar Tree. But Family Dollars and Dollar Generals was like popping up like wildfire, like everywhere. I was like, man, what is going on? They was like going everywhere in I would say Detroit, Dearborn, Warren. I mean, they just downtown Detroit. They was just popping up everywhere. It was crazy. So here's our mission. At Dollar General, our actions are guided by, we just read that. So they talk about their brands. We sell products from some of America's most trusted brands, such as Clorox, Energizer, Procter & Gamble, Hanes, Coca-Cola. Okay, we're going to talk about that. So our motto, Dollar General, stands for convenience, quality brands, and low prices. Dollar General stores aim to make shopping a hassle-free experience. Join our team. So we're going to go, we got that. So we got some good information about what their goals and mission is, their purpose and their vision. We got that. So we get a good idea about that and their goods and services and some of the companies that they work with or the brands that they carry. So let's go to Dollar General careers, and then we can go to the investors information. All right, guys, this opened up a screen that you can't see. So give me a second to bring this over so you can see it. Let me put this back. Okay, blow this back up, and we're going to zoom in. I got to take my time so I don't mess up. Hi, Olivia. Bye, Olivia. We don't need that. All right. Work where you matter, okay? Team Dollar General. Team. Thrive. Opportunities grow here. You will too. Oh, she's pregnant. All right. So close that out. What are they doing? Cookies. Man, I hate these cookies. Put them everywhere, don't they? Every website they're dealing with some cookies. I want to see the benefits. So I'm scrolling the homepage. So you'll know what I'm doing. I'm just scrolling the homepage and I'm hoping that the benefits pop out somewhere. So they talk about 20,000 they got over 20,000 locations. And they do internal hiring. So right here, this is a big deal. So or is this an estimate? I don't know what this thing means. But about 40% of their store managers started off as part-time associates. So they're hiring from within the company. They have over 190,000 employees, over 195,000 to be specific. Over 85 years of serving others. They talk about the charitable donations. So this is two companies where they've talked about the donations or their charitable donations that they've done. So Disney talked about it and Dollar General. Okay. So J.L. Turner and Son Wholesale is founded. So I guess that's what they started off as. Oh, they got the map, guys. I love when companies have maps where if, like, let's say you wanted to relocate, but you wanted to get a job before you relocated or see what type of opportunities was in the state before you moved to it or country, just wherever these companies having maps where you can look for employment, I think is very, very, very useful. And I'm thinking these numbers are the number of positions they have open, maybe. Yeah. Man, that hurt my eyes, but can I zoom out? Can I back up? I don't know if I can back up. Nah, they messed around and clicked on it and it got crazy. Yeah, you can zoom out. Thank gosh. Yeah, so they group them in bunches and the more you zoom in, they'll break them up and show you the diff. That's crazy. That's a lot. That they covering the whole United States. I told you it's popping up everywhere. All right, so I think this is the benefits right here. So our total rewards serve your health, your well-being, and your future. Comprehensive health insurance, specialty discounts, paid vacation and holidays, annual bonus opportunity, paid time. Yeah, 401k with company match. Okay, so those are the benefits. Here are some rewards that they've received. And remember, the links for the websites are down in the description for your convenience as well. All right. So we looked at that. We found the benefits. So now we can go to the investors relations. And this is a whole nother website. So we can close this out. And it is right here. And you can see it. It's right over the thing. So we click that. And they opened it up on a different screen. So I got to bring it over again, guys. Here we go. So let me blow this up. Blow this up. Blow that up. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. All right. So Dollar General Corporation first quarter 2026 financial results. All right. So the stock information is up here, but we're going to scroll over the pages to see what we can find. So they talk about the company profile, key operating priorities, driving profitable sales growth, capturing growth opportunities, enhancing our position as a low-cost operator. Keep scrolling. Okay. So let's go to stock information. Here's the stock chart, which we can't see. So either it's not loaded or they don't have it. Yep. So I'm giving it a little time, but guys, I don't see it. Didn't load up. So they don't have the stock chart on here. So let me click stock information. That's the same page. So it looked like they didn't even finish designing this section. Investment calculator didn't pop up. Wow. Dividend history, that popped up. So they do pay dividends. And we're going to talk about that on the chart when we look at Thinkorswim. And let me go ahead and give you the other information I wanted to talk to you about. So how can we do this? I want to do this in a way where it's kind of fancy. So what I can do, I can close this out. It is installed. So I can just do this. We can go up to the home. This is go here. Now, if I do this, I can just do this, go here, and I can go back to here. Nope, that ain't how we do it, but we figuring it out. Now I put, yep, I got Dollar General up there. So I just want to have it like this while I go ahead and talk to you about the things that I found about the company. So if somebody pop in, this looks a little bit more official than me just talking and I ain't got Dollar General pulled up. So here's the information that I found about Dollar General when I did my research. So to be more specific or a little bit more detailed about the goods and services that this company offers, it's consumables, home products, seasonal items, and apparel with their main focus on everyday necessities at discount prices. That's what their goal pretty much is. The services: convenience, FedEx drop off and pickup at participating locations, and a digital app providing digital coupons and mobile self-checkout is available at participating locations. Customers and or partners listed in the S&P 500 index include. Now, why this is important. So we know that Dollar General is listed in the S&P 500 index. Why? Because it's one of the biggest losers from the S&P 500 index. So what I'm finding, for me personally as a trader and investor, it's also important to know what these companies who these companies customers and partners are. So when I say customers, sometimes the customer isn't as simple as retail like us. It's other major companies that use the services of other big companies. So they would be considered a customer, or if they work together, they would be partners. So Dollar General would be the store, but then Procter and Gamble would be a partner because they're selling their products at these stores. So remember, they had mentioned Clorox. Clorox is listed in the S&P 500 index. So that means that some of their partners are also listed in the top 500 companies of the United States. So to me, as a trader and investor, that would make me feel good. That's good news. I want to know that some of your partners and your clients or customers are big companies as well. That would be good news for me. So for Dollar General, you have Procter and Gamble. I'm sure Clorox was one of them because they mentioned it when we read the website. Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, and FedEx. And I discussed with you, or I just told you about why FedEx was one of them, because they offer something with delivery with FedEx. Let me see what that was again. So services: convenience, FedEx drop off and pickup at participating locations. So they're partnered with FedEx. So you can get some more details, do some research on that to find out specifically how, but that's what I have found. Okay. So let's move on to the watch list. So just go here. We're going to talk about the biggest winner now. So we gave you some good details and information about Dollar General. Even though they were the biggest loser, you found out a lot. We can close this. I don't know why it popped up on screen. Okay. We didn't cover the charts though. So let's go to the charts before we go to the winners. Ooh, gap down a little bit. It didn't do it by much, but it did gap down. So let's do some technicals on this. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. So what we're going to do, this is not the company we're looking at. I'm glad I looked up. This is not Disney, guys. Did I have it? I hope I did not have that up when we did the earnings. Let me double check. Whew, we didn't. All right, good. So let's go back here. Oh, that would have been terrible. Think a swim. Okay, so this is the 1-year daily chart. And we know that because of this right here. I'm going to use this tool again. Right here. Dollar General. So there's the ticker. 1 year, 1 day, New York Stock Exchange. So that's the information that's right there. Okay. So that's where we find that at. Now, we can see, let me take me off the screen. Here's the 52-week low of $86.25. And that occurred on May 14th of 2025. And then when we go up here, their 52-week high, put me back on the screen because now I'm not blocking that. Their 52-week high of $158.23 occurred on February 25th. Okay. So now we're going to back out and we're going to look at the 10-year weekly chart. 10-year weekly chart. So we can see They were trending sideways for a minute. I'm covering it. So let me take my screen. What are you talking about? Right here. So their 10-year low was $65.97. Their 10-year high was $262.21. Guys, and now it's trading at $104.63. Okay. So I can see from what I'm seeing. Let me find this tool. Channel. Is this the right one? I hope it is. So if I put this here. Yeah. So put this here. I put that there. It was trending sideways within that channel. So between, looks like about $62.84. That's a wide channel. But I want you to just see what I mean. That's wide. It's like a $20 difference. But the trend was sideways. Then the trend turned upward. And we can see that here. This is not necessarily below it, but I'm going to do my best so you can get the idea. That's an uptrend. So it was trending sideways. Then it started trending up. And then it slightly slowed down. Like it wasn't as steep. But I'm seeing it like, oh, it's nasty. But we just going to make it do what it do. We're going to say the trend was sideways, then it went up, then it went sideways, and then it went up right here to a different level. And then it dropped, like it just sold off from the end of 2022 to the like near the end of 2023. And then it recovered and then it sold off again. And then it came to hit these lows in this area. And then it started uptrending again from the end of 2024 to about the beginning of this year. And then it's starting to sell off again. So let me use this tool right here to get an idea. I can put me back on the screen to get an idea of what this gain was from this low. And remember, we're looking at a weekly chart to this high on this green candle right here. So that was 138.19% opportunity from the beginning of 2025 to like, what's that, February to like the end of February of this year. There was an opportunity for 138.19% return. Now that's if the person got it perfect from the very low to the very high from this price point. But the opportunity was there over that period of time for that return. Now, if we look at this drop from that high down to the low of this week, that was a loss of 34.5% over a matter of 77 days. The time frame over here was it's exact 406 days. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get some levels. Let's go ahead and get our levels on the weekly chart. It's moving kind of slow. I want to remove these lines because we seen what that was. We don't need to leave them there. So let's just go ahead and remove those and let's get some price levels. So I'm going to use a zone here, guys. So let's say this is a support zone. Bam. That's my support zone. As far as resistance, yeah. Let's put a line here. And we can see that it tested this line. Let me use my other mouse. Bam. It tested it here. And it tested it here. That price level of $126.98. It tested it as resistance. And then it was able to get through it pretty easy here. And then this wick had touched it. So it kind of tested it there as support. But when it came back down to it, it really didn't hold it. But once it got below it, it immediately acted as resistance. And it's been selling off and coming down to this area of support, this support zone that I put here. And the reason I chose this as a support zone, let me take off these other arrows, is because of the test here, the test here. Now I'm gonna use a box so you can see what I mean. This area here tested that zone for a minute, and this area here tested that zone for a minute, okay? And then this is approaching it, but this is why I chose this as a support resistance zone, okay? And I love using that little tool. It helps point this stuff out so much better. So now let's go ahead and go to the daily. Oh, I forgot to take this off. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. So we're going to go back to the 1 year daily chart. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. So right over here, I'm going to zoom in and we are going to draw our gap because I think it's a small gap in here. So the high for today was $112.31 and the low for Friday was $112.91. Yeah, it's a very small gap, but it is a gap. So I'm going to go ahead and put it there. So that's the gap. Now, you know, when we draw the gaps, when we draw the gaps on this channel, we make them yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the properties, make it yellow, and I'm going to expand it so we can see it a little bit better. It looks really small. So let's expand the date. So it will be this one right here. So click the calendar, go out a couple months to the 1st. Okay. So that's going to be the gap that happened between Friday and today. Okay. So let's zoom out and we can go ahead and talk about the stock quote for this because we have our resistance and we can see that on the 9-day simple moving average, the price is definitely trading below that. It's trading below the gap. Here's our support zone. Here's our resistance level, $126.98. I believe also, my personal analysis that I'm seeing, it might have some trouble right here at the 200-day simple moving average as well, because it likes to test those levels from my experience of what I've seen. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing from this. So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Dollar General. We pull that floating data box up. So here we go. The stock quote for Dollar General, they opened today at $111.83. They had a high of $112.31. They had a low of $103.64. And they closed today at $104.63, which was a trading range of $8.67. When we look at the trading volume for today, they traded 6.5 million shares of their stock today. So now we need to see what the average trading volume is for Dollar General. So I'm gonna take me off the screen and we're gonna go over there and see. So the label right here, the average volume, the average trading volume for Dollar General is about 3 million shares in a daily trading session. And today they did about twice that, the 6.5. And then on Friday, they did just about average on Friday. So volume is increasing, but it increased as the stock sold dropped down, gap down actually, because we got a gap here. So it looked like it was consolidating a couple times. So let me go ahead and pull my tool up so I can show you what I mean. So this area here, I'm seeing this as consolidation. And in this area, I'm seeing it as consolidation. And then remember, when a stock or a security, let's say security, because it could be an ETF. But when we're looking at the charts, consolidation is when the price action is going sideways. It's trending sideways. And it was riding that 200-day simple moving average. We can see that dashed white line right there. It was riding it for a minute. Now, after consolidation, the price does one of two things. Why is it not? Oh, I know why it's not putting me back on the screen. I'm trying to put me back on the screen, guys. Give me a second. I figured out what it was. When I use this tool, I got to make sure I put the highlighter back on in order for me to do it. We need to see, or after consolidation, the price either goes up or it goes down. And it didn't really do either. It kind of went up out of the consolidation range, came back down a little bit below it, tested that again right here at that resistance level we put here. And then it came back down and started consolidating at a lower level than before. Now we're looking for the same thing. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Well, it looked like we got our answer. It looked like it went down. So let me erase some of these so we don't have to take off everything at once to kind of. So that's what we're seeing. So consolidation. We got our answer because it gapped down. Okay. Now we can move on. We did our stock quote. We talked about the volume. I talked about consolidation. I don't think I missed nothing. We can go ahead and move on. So let's go back to Market Watch. We're going to go to quotes. So we went to our Market Watch tab, went to the quote sub tab. We are back at the S&P 500 watch list. So what we're about to do, we can take off Dollar General because we are done with them. And we are going to hit this, and we are looking at the biggest winner for today. So ticker LITE in the goods. Reading something. Ticker light. Let me put it on the screen. I'm on a tangent. Hold on. Here we go. Bam. Ticker LITE. Lumentum Holdings Incorporated. All right. So they went up 16.52% today. And their previous close was $903.80, and they closed today at $1,053.09. I'm gonna go ahead and select them. We can do a hypothetical. Pull up the calculator. Here we go. Make it real quick. So someone was to invest. Let's do $100 this time. $100. If that's too easy when we use 100. I'll just say it. If someone invested $100 and they got that 16.52% gain, they would have made $16.52. And if we add that to the $100 investment, the $100 would have grown to $116.52. It's real easy when you use a round number like 100. And if you use 200, it would just be the 16.52 times $16.52 times 2. It's different ways to go about it. Anyway, that's that. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go to analyze. And we can see that ticker LITE, Lumentum, is in the information technology sector. So let's go over to the Market Watch tab, visualize information technology sector, and see if we can find it. So we're looking for Lumentum, information technology sector, LITE. I'm looking all over this for it. Okay. Ooh, those are small over there in the corner. They kind of hard to see. So I'm looking for green. Here it is. So it looks like communications equipment. So let me right here, LITE. There we go. So it's in the communications equipment. Let me take me off the screen so I'm not blocking it. So it's in the S&P 500 in the information technology sector in the communications equipment industry. Okay. And there's the ticker right there, LITE. And we can see that all of these companies in this sector and industry did well today, except for ANET. Who knows what was going on with them? But we can see that performed well as a group today, except for ANET, which we just seen. So we go back to analyze. Got the company name here, Lumentum Holdings Incorporated. Here's their website. And remember, the links for the websites are down in the description for your convenience. Now, let's read a little bit of the description. Lumentum Holdings Incorporated manufactures and sells optical and photonic products in the Americas, the Asia Pacific, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Okay. And I did some research before the live stream, so we'll talk about that the same way we did the other company, Dollar General, so we can go over that so you can get more specific details of that or whatever. So here we are on their main website. We can see right here at the top, their products, about us. We're definitely going to go to about us. We're going to scroll over their website. Doesn't look like it's that long. Industrial laser, sensing, V-cell, data center. I know this look kind of wild. You're like, what is that? Because I'm thinking, what is that? I'm thinking the same thing. That's why I was like, when I saw the website, I was like, I'm gonna have to do some research, find out exactly what it is they do, so I don't look crazy when we do these live streams. So I know exactly what they do, and I'm gonna tell you, even if we can't like figure it out just glancing at this. They got over 1,600 patents Over 11,000 global employees. And for kicks and giggles, let's fact check that number, okay? And it doesn't even necessarily mean it's going to be a fact, but I just want to show you another way for you to find out how many employees a company has on a free resource website. So let me pull this up. Yahoo. So if we go to Yahoo Finance, blow this up, and we type in light, it was ticker light, right? L-I-T-E. So we go there, let it pull up. And now we're going to go over here to the left, okay? Over here to the left where it says profile, go to profile. And then right over here, it will tell us the number of full-time employees. So it's saying the full-time employees is 10,562, okay? They said they have over 11,000 employees, but they didn't say whether they were full-time, part-time, and things like that. So maybe that's the difference that's missing, but that's just another way. Just wanted to show you if you find out how many employees a company has, or at least full-time to be specific. Okay. So we are down at the bottom of their website, and I'm not really covering nothing on the left-hand side of the screen, so we can see what we're looking for. Solutions, company. Okay. So about us, got it. Careers, got it. Company, got it. Investors, got it. These are the locations we're going to look at. So let's go ahead and knock out about us. Let's go there now. And I need to blow this back up before I end up causing an issue or a problem. There we go. Market recovery following. Yep, we got that. So company, Lumentum is illuminating the networks of tomorrow with breakthrough optical and photonic technologies that power innovation across AI, cloud, telecommunications, industrial, and sensing applications. Okay. So you talk about our story. Remember, the links for the websites are down in the description for your convenience. So that's leadership. I know I'm browsing kind of fast because we spent a lot of time. I think we after 12, guys, these shows getting longer. Thank you so much for staying tuned in. Okay. I didn't really expect these late shows to be this long, but we covering a lot of ground. Okay. So now we're going to look at company. Lumentum that's the same thing it said before. It's just a different section of the same website, guys. That's what I'm seeing. So let's go to careers. And we're looking for the benefits. We want to know what the benefits are. I keep leaning so far out of the thing. Brilliant life. Bam! Benefits. Running my mouth. I'm going to scroll over this page and just come back to click the benefits, okay? So they talk about global benefits. Some explore. I'm thinking that when we go back to the top, when we click it, it's probably going to scroll down to this section of the page, but we're going to actually find that out right now. So let's go to the top, click benefits. It did exactly what I said. So we go to explore benefits. That's a cute baby. Benefits that empower you. Explore opportunities. Caring about our people around the world. Okay. So in order for you to figure out what's going on about the benefits, they have it broken down by your location from what I'm seeing. So right here, benefits in Americas. And then they said Canada, United States. So when we do that, it changes. Okay. And can you click this? Yes. So it has a drop down. Guys, this is very interactive, so you can look at this on your own time. I'm gonna speed up a little bit. So we found out where the benefits were. Links for the websites are down in the description for your convenience. So let's go ahead and go to investors because I want to get to the charts and then share with you what I have found in my research. So reject all, we don't need those. So investor relations page, we can see that they trade on the NASDAQ, the ticker, and the closing price for today. Scroll over this page, and then we're going to go to the top to see if we can find the stock quote and chart information. So we'll go up to the top, stock info right here. So we're going to go to stock quote. And I believe we talked about something with dividends, and I didn't point that out on the chart earlier. So I'm going to go back and cover that to do some house cleaning and make sure we get that right. So here's the stock quote. Here's the chart that they offer on their website, and here's the historical stock quote information, okay? So let me tell you what I found in my research. So we're going to do like the earnings thing again. So I'm going to go to their home page. Got it. Close this out. I'm going to go here. Just go ahead and set this up so it looks nice. All right, go here. Earnings. Put their ticker up here for the winner, the biggest winner for today. There we go. And then just drag this so it'll look nice. and then I'll tell you what I found. Okay. And thank you for staying tuned in like you did. I really appreciate you. So it was the photonic thing was mumbo jumbo to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really didn't get it. So when I looked it up, their goods are optical communication components for data and telecom centers, like commercial lasers for manufacturing and 3D sensing and consumer electronics, like stuff like facial recognition and things like that. They sell these lasers. That's one of the products that they're known for that can be used in manufacturing and things like that. Okay. It helps companies be precise with things, these lasers that they sell. Okay. And then their services. Okay. Their services, engineering support, technical assistance, and warranty maintenance for their goods. So they need to maintain and have support for those lasers that they sell and the products that they offer. So they offer services to support the things that they sell beyond the actual goods. Okay. And then we can actually go here as well. Oh, I'm leaning out of the screen again. And we can see the different things. See, industrial laser. So here's where they talk about the lasers and stuff. Okay. And data center products. So that's that. So we can go ahead and move on and go back to the charts. So here we go. And we got the ticker pulled up. Now, here was the thing. I believe I had said something about Dollar General with the dividends, but I didn't point it out to you. So let me go ahead and clean that up and then we'll get back on light. Okay. So here's the Dollar General dividends. These green symbols down at the bottom of the chart, it looks like they pay a 59-cent dividend and they've been doing it for the last 4 quarters. Okay. They've been paying 59 cents as a dividend. Now let's get back to light. So the ticker was LITE. We go back up here to the symbol box. LITE. Bam. Put them back on the screen. It's the biggest winner. Boom. Monday through Friday. That's not the disclaimer we need. Here is the disclaimer for Schwab. There it is. Bam. All right. Now we are looking at a 1-year daily chart, and it looks like, man, they just been going up. Woo, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, it's just now hitting me from what I'm seeing. Oh my, let me take me off the screen. Guys, this is a 1-year daily chart. Okay. So within this last year, this stock has went up from $69.26 to over $1,000. Oh my. So here's the opportunity to feast your eyes on. This stock had an opportunity in it for a 1,449%, 0.71% return. I'm going to say that again. Ooh, that's a mouthful. Let me put me back on the screen. Ooh, this stock within the last 52 weeks, so this 364 days, in less than a year, about 1 day, has offered an opportunity of 1,449.71% gain. And they sell lasers. They sell data center lasers, to be precise, with measurements and things like that. God, oh my goodness. Woo! Wow. Where did these levels even come from on the chart? Like this 551. I'm gonna have to go to the weekly chart. I don't know if I had looked at this before. I think I did. I think we probably covered this company before, guys. And that's where those levels come from. And I'm going to show you where I got those levels from. So we're looking at this is a 10-year weekly chart. So we went back to the weekly chart. And now I'm about to zoom in to see where I got these levels from, okay? So when I zoom in, I use these candles. So let me use the other mouse, the one that has the, remember where we talked about consolidation? This is what I'm seeing right here. And remember, after the consolidation, it's either going to go here or it's going to go here. And as you can see, it went up. It was either going to go down or it was going to go up, and it went up. So what we can do, that's not even pointing up high enough. So let me erase this, erase this one because it didn't go down. And then I'm going to put the arrow here of how it went. It went up, guys, after that consolidation. But this is an example of it, because in this box, the trend was sideways. It was going sideways. And then when it broke out of that consolidation, it went up. So this was accumulation before it took off. And then I used this candle here. Let me remove some of these arrows, okay? So you won't have a whole bunch of arrows all over the place. Get rid of these. So this candle tested it as resistance. This candle tested it as support. This candle tested it as support. And this candle tested it as support. I know that's a lot of candles, but I want to use these arrows now so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? So that was that. Now let me use the eraser to take off these arrows. Bam, bam, bam. All right, cool. Now, you can see this is a 9-week simple moving average because we're still looking at the 10-year weekly chart. And you can see that the candles, the wicks, came down and they tested that 9-week simple moving average right here, right here, and right here. It tested it 3 times. And it didn't even close on it. Like, it just touched it and came back up. It just touched it and came back up. Okay. So I'm going to delete those as well. So you're seeing that. But these candles here kept testing that area. That's where I got the $338.34 as support resistance from, right here inside this consolidation range. These 3 candles, actually 4. 1, 2, let me put this back on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I got the $551.99 from. So now when we look here, this would be like a small consolidation as well. These 3 candles here. So let me pull that tool up. The bodies. I'm looking at the bodies and the wicks. So that was a small area of consolidation for 3 weeks, because these are weekly candles. And then after that, you're looking for the price to either come down or go up. And as we can see, it went up. Okay. It went up. So we can say that that would be, let me delete that. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to put this, the top of this candle is going to be support. And you can see the wicks came down and tested that area, and it opened right on that, and it's on the top of this candle. So these 5 candles are identifying that. That's what I'm using to get the $827.56 as support. That's how I'm getting it. And remember, we're looking at a weekly chart. So this is a 10-year weekly chart I'm using to get that. And I will put the consolidation box back. Bam. So now let's go back over to the 1-year daily chart and see what we got going on here. We can delete these because now it don't even match. So now we can see our support and resistance because we used the weekly chart to be able to do that. But anyway, we talked about the laser, so we got that out the way. But I didn't tell you about their partners. I didn't talk to you about their partners. So I just tell you, I don't have to pull all the other stuff up to be fancy. So I just talked to you about that. Remember how earlier I was talking about these companies are in the S&P 500 index. So they're the top 500 companies in the United States. And I said, now as a trader and investor, I'm also starting to look at who are their customers, who are their partners. So to me, it's a strong signal for me. It builds my confidence to look at a company as an investment opportunity or a trading opportunity if I know that the other customers that they have or partners that they have are also listed in the S&P 500 index. So when it comes to this in particular company, Lumentum Holdings Incorporated, their 3 S&P 500 customers and or partners include Apple, Cisco Systems, and Microsoft, which to me is a big deal for me. If I'm looking at it, I'm like, wow, they customer or partner is Apple, their customer or partner is Microsoft or Cisco Systems. And then I would look at those companies to see how they're performing as well. Okay. So what am I looking for? This is the button I'm looking for. Yeah. So let's talk about the stock quote for Lumentum, okay? So pull up the floating data box, and here we go. So Lumentum opened today at $949.72. They had a high of $1,073.33, which was a 52-week high as well as a 10-year high when we looked at the 10-year weekly chart, okay? They had a low of $949.45, and they closed today at $1,053.09, which was a trading range of $123.88. Their trading volume was 9 million shares of this stock was traded today. Now we need to look and see what the average trading volume is for Lumentum. Cut the floating data box off. That's what I'm trying to do. Got that done. Take me off the screen. So the average trading volume for Lumentum is 4 million shares in a daily trading session. So today was definitely above average. And I think this is a big deal because it wasn't earnings today. So earnings was on May 5th. So even without earnings, they had significant volume today. So maybe it was some type of catalyst that caused this move, but it definitely was volume behind it. And on Friday, their volume was 6.7 million shares traded. So Friday and today were both above average. And then these two candles, they're kind of, I would say it's like a double bottom, almost like, because they both came down to about the same area and they have these long wicks. So it was like it was trying to go down, but it couldn't hold it. And then boom, it gapped up. So let's put our gap in here. So this high and this low. And that's our gap. Go to edit properties, change the color to yellow, like I talked about before, and extend the months out so we can see it a little bit better. Bam, there's our gap. So this is our gap from Friday to today. We talked about our volume. We talked about our technicals. Our resistance is going to be this high because it's an all-time high, or at least a 10-year high, 52-week high. That's going to be our resistance. Here's our support because of the gap. And then here's our support below that. If you wanted to, oh yeah, let me do it. So I'm going to use this tool right here. Let me use this mouse, move funny. And I'm not on the screen. So put me back on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and use this tool. So pull this over. This is going to be that consolidation I was talking about as well. And then these two candles is like the middle of that. You see these two wicks? This wick especially is like the middle of that consolidation zone. That $866. And then after that consolidation zone, let me go back to this other tool right here. I'm going to trace this. You're looking for it to either to go up or down after the consolidation. And as we see, it went up. But it did a small little pullback before it continued up. Okay. Man. All right. We did it. So let's clear this off the screen. Bam. And then we can get out of here and go back here. Let's just go back to the main screen. We got to clean all that up. Go here, click this, bam. Did it work this time? No, it didn't. Clear this off, go here. There we go. Now it should work. Bam. All right. No financial advice and all that other stuff. I'm getting it together, guys. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I've done 2 interviews with up-and-coming content creator Tiara Owens, sharing how I got started investing in the stock market, my profits and losses, and a link to that playlist of interviews are down in the description. And make sure you tune in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.